Yeah, so Andy, I grew up in this industry before I got to IBM. I've been at IBM now 6 years. And what I have seen at IBM is tools and technologies around AI, machine learning, and hybrid cloud that basically have helped industries solve bias mitigation issues that they've had. Whether it's been in the insurance industry around underwriting, whether it's been in the financial services industries around mortgage applications. And what I'm advocating for, given the change that our industry is going through, is let's build bias mitigation into the core fabric of how we go about media, planning, and marketing, and advertising, ultimately. Because we all know that even just our basic models that have been put in place for the last 40 years around segmentation, it's biased. But we never root out those biases. And the proposition, or the hypothesis I have, is that AI, we can actually figure out, is there bias in advertising? And then we can use AI, number one, to mitigate it in a process.
So how will this develop? What are your hopes, from a practical standpoint, for buyers, for sellers? How do you hope this is embraced? I know it's not ready yet, but how might it develop?
Yeah, so look, I think it's fundamental. It's number one, I'm just trying to use my platform to get people to understand that it's an issue, right? So I'm trying to use what I know, who I am, what I've done in the industry before, so that people understand that there is bias in our advertising strategies. They've been around for 40 years, right? Some of us fell in love with the Marlboro Man, right? Was that maybe not a good thing? There was bias in that advertising, there was bias in that product. And I think ultimately, what I'm trying to do now is initiate a research project. So set out my hypothesis, let's use a scientific method to prove me right or wrong. So the first thing we've done with IBM Research and in cooperation with the Ad Council, with Lisa Sherman, is we're taking their data and we're running it through our bias detection tools, our Watson bias detection tools. And we're finding that there are biases underneath even the segmentation analysis that are there. These proxy characteristics are coming out, and it's buying decision makings. And as those algorithms learn more, the machine only perpetuates itself, so that the campaign becomes more biased over time. What I know at IBM is we can build tools to mitigate that and change the course of that going forward. So we're in the research phase. That's where we are right now. I'm actually inviting people to share their data, to see if they have bias in their advertising, prove me right or wrong, and then help me figure out what kind of tools we need to build. So that's where we are. We're in the first phase of this.
Of course, AI is part of advertising. You guys have been leading that for a number of years. Where do things stand in terms of AI making advertising more efficient?
Yeah, so we have a tool set that we've been creating with Watson Advertising, specifically around AI. The interesting thing that I think most people don't understand is when you really apply artificial intelligence to advertising, you do it in real time, right? There's no longer the need to really look at identifiers and look backwards at someone's behavior. It's about what Andy and Bob are doing at that moment in time. And if you understand placement, you can optimize creative in real time on top of that. And what we've seen where we've been able to do this in real time with real AI, you're able to get a 15% better return on your dollar than if you were to use cookies or cohort groups from the past. So we're at that inflection point. Will people really take these ML tools, these machine learning tools and the AI tools to another level and actually apply them in real time? Because that's really that's the secret sauce.
And Bob, finally, you've been in this business for a number of years. We've had a number of conversations. What's exciting now in terms of what's happening in our industry?
Yeah, I would say, look, I think, IBM spends a lot of time and a lot of effort around quantum computing. And I think what I've seen right now is that the merging of classical computing and quantum computing coming together is going to help us solve some of the major unsolvable issues that we have as society. So that really, really excites me, and it's not that far away. We're running simulations now with the likes of ExxonMobil to figure out how energy is made, with Mercedes-Benz about how they can basically make a battery more efficient. I mean, there are things that we're working on now to figure out how those molecular structure works that you can't do in classical computing, but you can do with quantum computing. So I'm pretty excited about where that's going to go, because I think it's going to be a game changer for us as a human society.